Hello, my name is Scott Arthur and I'm the councillor for Collington, Oxgangs and Fairmile Head. Over the next 10 years or so, around 55,000 houses are going to be built in Edinburgh, and that's an absolutely incredible number. I'm really proud of the fact that over the past 5 years as a councillor, I've been one of the people who've been arguing for those houses to be built on brownfield land as much as possible, and for no more greenfield land to be allocated to house building. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. In addition to those houses that are going to get built in Edinburgh, however, we'll also see houses built in East Lothian, Mid Lothian, West Lothian and Fife, and further afield of course. And a lot of people living in those houses will be thinking about commuting through to Edinburgh at least part of the time, and also travelling here for leisure, etc. Now, Edinburgh is already one of the most congested cities in the UK, and that's directly impacting on some people's health and also the well-being of others. So it's really important that we design these developments, whether they're inside Edinburgh or not, to have the infrastructure they need for people to live good lives and hopefully also more sustainable lives. And a big part of that has to be good public transport links. So I think any sizable development in Edinburgh, any development at all really has to come with good transport links. So people have public transport as a viable and sustainable alternative to using the car. In addition to that, I think more than ever, the council has to work with surrounding local authorities to make sure that the developments that they're progressing, where people plan to travel into Edinburgh regularly, are on good public transport routes. And that means working in collaboration with these local authorities, not working in silos. And as much as possible, I hope that means that people are completing all of the journey on public transport. But I think there is also, this is also a time to look at park and ride again. I think we have to, within the context of the climate emergency and also the house building targets which have been set by the Scottish Government for us, I think we have to look at park and ride again. We have to see if the existing park and ride facilities are big enough, and we also have to look at where we can justify building new park and ride. And that brings me to why I'm standing right here in this field in West Lothian, sorry, Mid Lothian. So I'm actually just outside my ward. I'm south of the bypass, at south of Lothian-Burn Junction, and you could probably hear the traffic from the bypass rumbling in the background. I can certainly see cars coming off the slip road. So around 20 years ago or so, this field was allocated to park and ride here, but it didn't progress. And then it was looked at again around 5 years ago and found not to be viable. But I think now, just so much has changed in terms of these house building targets and what we know now about climate change. It feels right that we look at this again. And my gut instinct tells me that it'll now be viable and it now will be used. So I'm really keen that over the next council term, before a lot of these houses are built, we actually look quite seriously at a park and ride here and in other locations, and we actually invest in infrastructure here just to try to help the growth of Edinburgh and the surrounding local authorities just be a little bit more sustainable. I do question how we can build tens of thousands of houses and for it to be sustainable at all, of course, but I think we do have to try to make this development as sustainable as possible. And I think there's huge opportunities in terms of park and rides being part of that. It's not all of the solution. So I'm not sure if you agree or disagree if you've watched the video to its end here, but please let me know what you think in the comments section below. Okay, goodbye for now.